moving up. Hey everybody, welcome back to Plastic Models by a Regular Dude and part number 6 of the Dragon 1/35 scale Panzer I Ausführung A. And by moving up, in my comment at the very beginning, we're moving up to the turret. In the last video, I did step 6, which was the remaining small parts for the lower hull. Did the upper hull superstructure here. Here's all the stuff I did there from step 6. And then the rear engine deck. So from there, we can move on to step 10, which is the turret. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do these what you call sub-assemblies. So we've got, we can have this hatch open or closed, and I think I am going to be having this open because I plan on adding a figure, but that will be later. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting off some of these parts. Hopefully you've seen some of my earlier videos and know what I do as far as cutting and cleaning parts up, so I won't rehash that just for the sake of time. So let's get started with the hatch. Those were really tiny and I couldn't film them, so there you go. That teeny tiny piece, that one there, and that one there. So hatch is done. So now we can do the front mantlet part for the machine guns. So we got, let's see, 5, 14, and 19, and then the machine guns, but I'll do those last. There's that ready to go. Forgot to video it, but just pretty simple, 3 parts. And then we got the turret shell itself. Make sure that little sprue gate's taken care of. And let's see here. We also need the bottom of the turret. C22. Do a quick test fit of that. Looks good. And this goes here like that. Oh, splendid. That fits nicely. So I'm going to glue the bottom part of the turret in first. Like this. And this. And this. Just like that. And then we can glue this part in. Now it doesn't look like this is meant to be movable like the way, well, maybe so. So that goes there. Get the cement there. Push it all up into place. And let's put some cement. Right here. And here should be sufficient. All right, so there's that. And then let's see, we've got a bunch of vision ports to glue on here and a couple of hooks. So I'm going to get those cut off. And there we go. Got these hooks all cut off and in place. I'm getting sloppy with my video here, but this is really simple stuff. It's fairly quick, so sorry, folks. But there we go. That takes care of those. So now I can cut off the armored visors for around here. And now on these, there is a right and left. And there's a curve and a slight angle to it, so you want to make sure you get the right one on the right side. It's not too difficult, but you got to pay attention to it. A little drop of cement there. And there, just to make sure it gets all the way around. So that is how those are glued on. So I'm not going to do them all on camera. I'll do the rest of these and then we'll come back. Alright, so step 10 is done with the exception of the machine guns, and like I said, I'm going to be doing that in the very last thing. So we're ready to move on to step 11. Now the first thing there is here is a choice on whether or not to have the antenna up or down. Well, in this case, I'm going to have it down. So let's see, we've got see-fit. So what they've done here is they've given you an illustration of the detail of these parts and their location for this part of the hull that's on the other side. So that's kind of cool. Let's see, but what I need to do first is I think I will glue these two sub-assemblies on first, which is this and it has like two little tabs that go underneath this front plate here, hopefully. There we go, like that. And then this piece will go here. Between the fenders, theoretically. Wow, that's a snug fit. Okay, it's on there. I'm sorry I did it off camera, but what I did is I just kind of held it together and I pulled down carefully on this fender till it snapped down in place. Like that. All right, and if you put everything together right, everything should line up. So now all I got to do is glue it all together, which should not be difficult. See, these parts fit together really well. Love it. With those whole pieces glued on, we can zoom in now. Doing some smaller work. Need to glue these side hatch on, which are parts C20 and C21. So put a little bit of cement there and there. And again, I'm not pushing that in there because I don't want it to fill in the seam around the hatch, because that would be a bad thing. And then this hatch here, Whoop, whoop, whoop. Almost dropped it. This one, there's two little notches here that need to go under these pins, or hinge parts, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to have to somehow get that in place without destroying the whole bleeding thing. It's a very snug fit. There we go, like that. And then I'm going to have to clamp that because it's kind of sprung open a little bit. So make sure it's pressed all the way in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold that and I'm going to glue it here first. Ooh, man, I don't want... So what I'm going to have to do is carefully glue just these front edges for now, right here, because again, I don't want that to disappear. So then I take my clamp here and mess up my clamp. Oh, actually it's stuck, so I'm good. So I don't need the clamp. So then I'll put some a little bit of cement there and there. And I should be good. All right, I got all these parts cut out and ready to go. What is that? So first thing I'll do is I will glue this part on. Now on this part here, there is a front and back and a side to side. So this needs to go, you don't want to glue it this way because then the mount won't fit. So you gotta glue it this way. And I'll get like that. There, whoops, my finger's in the way, but I think you get the idea. I gotta trim that off. I didn't see that. Wow. I am slacking. Anyway, make sure it's pressed down really good. Gotta be careful with this simulated diamond plate texture on the fenders. You want to make sure you push it down pretty good. That way it kind of melts into it. Otherwise you have a weaker joint. Alright, so then I need to glue this piece here like this. So get my stout tweezers. Okay, so I'll do is I'll put a little dab cement just to tack it into place. Fits right in that little raised U. Oh my goodness, seriously. Let's try this again. There we go. Take some cement, put all around the edge because I wanted to really kind of blend in. So what happens is when you have that raised edge, get enough cement on there, it'll melt and blend in right with the edge of the part, and you won't have a little ridge. So it'll look more like a weld, so to speak. Then we take the antenna right here, drop it into place like that. Now I have to decide if I want to glue this antenna now or if I want to do it later. And the reason I say that is because it's a lot easier to paint a really skinny something like this off of the model as opposed to in place. So I think I'm going to wait and I'm going to paint that whenever I paint the machine guns. I have to figure out what color I want to do, but anyway, that's ready to go. All right, so I had to faff about with this, but I got it in position. Also, almost cracked it right there. Oh, I just did. It just broke. Oh my word. So I'm gonna have to fill that in. That part was tricky, getting it in there, so hopefully I can get that to where it doesn't look quite so broke. It happens. Make sure it's all stuck down good. Make sure that is lined up. Ooh. There we go. That's not bad. Judging by the appearance, I'm assuming it is some kind of hose. So there would be a bend in it, just like that, I'm saying. Alright, so then I need to glue the rest of these lifting hooks and such. And now we've got some more of these hooks to glue on. So we've got one for here. One here. One here. One here. Whoops. One here. And one right there. And with the exception of the machine guns and the antenna. Voila! The Panzer I is complete. So there you have it. The Dragon 1/35 scale Panzer I Ausführung A is complete. So I will end part 6 of this build right here. And next time in part 7, we will begin painting. So, thanks for following along. If you want to see more of this build or any of my other builds, please click the subscribe button. Maybe hit notifications if you want to be updated on the progress of a given project. If you have any questions, hints, tips, concerns, etc., or if you know what that hose thing is right there, put it in the comments section down below. I'd really be stoked. So thanks for following along, and as always, thanks for watching Plastic Models by a Regular Dude, and I will see you all later.